Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream for the Stevenage Store Championship. We currently have 33 players registered, which is incredible for a quote-unquote dead game. I think we're just waiting on one other person to join who's paid, and then we're going to start round one. Today I'm playing the same Steve deck I was playing last week, although I have taken out the black file for Caldera. Because, Neurospike is a card that apparently I forget exists and die to. Apparently pairings are up. So let's get straight into it. I am against Mike on table 1. He's playing Tau and Asa, so I'm guessing... So I'm guessing it's the Epoch Tau that we saw Rotage win with last week, and the standard Asa group. Let's get the... Hi Dana, did I say your name right? Welcome to the stream, and enjoy watching me horribly misplay. So we have a couple of minutes before we can start. So I'm going to use that just to check everything's okay. Yep. So I think this hand seems really good. Quite fast. So we start with, I guess, gamble into Dan. Yeah, it's just money and boomerang. So with Asa Group, I need to try and control their assets to an extent. They're going to try and set up a remote, which is Anoetic Void and Skunkworks, which, to be honest, is something I can't really contest unless I'm already quite far ahead with this deck. So it's just going to be the standard pressure the centrals and hope to win off those. This is assuming that it is the standard Asa deck and not something spicy. Whilst we're waiting for the round to start, we can look at Cobra again. So the tournament has 32 players in, 5 max, which is probably the Hive Mind max, 5 Tau Salonga, which I'm guessing is going to be the Apocalypse Tau that Dave won with last week, handful of Crim, and then some of... Oh, 2 Alice. So I have noticed that Alice Merchant Apocalypse has made a slight comeback on JNet. And then, yeah, on the corp side is 7 Asa, 6 Precision Design, 3 Sports Metals, just lots of jammy HB. 5 the outfit, which I'm guessing is going to be the Send a Message outfit, which, again, Rotage won last week's with. So it's kind of... And 1 Polana, down from, I think, 3 last week. So it's interesting to see how the meta's evolved from just, well, a couple of events. This one last week, and I think there was a single-sided Swiss one last week too. Cool. I think we can start the round now, so let's get the game back. Okay. So my opponent starts with quite a good start. Ice as server and VLC, so we'll start with using Dan to draw 2 cards and gain 3 credits. We do have Boomerang Diversion, which I think is good to do this early. Yep. We don't want any of them. I'm gonna zoom in slightly. So yeah, it was always the thing that they can res a campaign before Diversion. I sort of knew that, but to essentially get them to waste the 6th strength version of Gatekeeper, I'm very happy with. They'll get money taken back. I mean, my hand is just money at this point. So let's... Tapworm seems a bit not great in this situation. So I'll get 2. That's cool. See, I think those remotes are just... One will be Jeeves and one will be a campaign, I reckon. I don't think I'm currently in a position to really check them. Drop this, just a Citadel. There's a fully operation for, what's that? 4 cards and 2 credits. And click for a cred. Do think I want to check server 5 if possible, but oh wow. I mean, I could play Tapworm this turn. Shut down. So this has gone from a very good hand to a I can't find breakers or draw, which is very yeah. Oh, the Gen. Yeah, I can turn them down. It'll have to be after this game. And trash the Jeeves. Play the Daily Cast. Yeah, autocorrect always seems to correct it to Janet to me too. So anyway, say I started off with early Diversion. They've got back into this really fast. I would like to find anything that helps break stuff, which is unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. So I think just keep checking R&D, hoping to hit an agenda or something while searching for breakers. Shuffle 2 unseen cards. So, well, at least they haven't got the Fairchild, which Hey, a breaker. Um, hmm. Draw some cards. Okay. Gain 3 creds. Let's see what this ice is. Drafter. Cool. Run archives. I think dropping the Bugalta probably heavily telegraphs that there's another one. And oh, I wanted that tapworm. So if I go through the drafter, that seems not a great idea. Guess we'll do this. Do this. I think I need to challenge the Jeeves pretty soon. Assume server 1 is a skunkworks. Oh. Cool. So that means they can grab quite a few things back. Most notably the biotic labor. So this is mainly for money, as say we've drawn a lot, we haven't really played any. Back to sure gambles. Yeah. I think it's a bit late for Hernando. So we do this and draw 2 cards, 3 creds. Bad off server 5. Trash Jeeves with response. Okay, so I'm still not feeling great about this. They seem to be low on credits, but that Vesuvius token can grab back a myriad of things, which including fully operational, which are just credits. Only seeing one diversion in 3/4 of the deck is a little unusual, but it happens. I think the plan here, now that I have all the breakers in play, is to probably pressure the remotes. Okay, so get this. Run server 8. So they are playing Lakshmi in this deck, which I really don't want one to get online. Which it has done. Rush the Rashida. Yeah, I think this is a sneak door. Okay, so there's got Vetuvius in hand. We'll get back Dan. Drop the Penny Shaver. So they currently can't score that even with the Biotic, which is a little bit of a saving grace. But I really don't feel very in control of this game at all. Feel I need to contest that Lakshmi pretty soon. I think my next turn is going to be try and find a diversion. Yeah, fully up. I mean, it's a lot of credits. Mhm. Okay, I didn't expect that. I think either server 5 or server 8 is the Vetuvius. And there could also be one in hand that they're trying to cover. I think we just run archives again. Okay. Drop this. Drop this. Hmm. Where are something? So I need to check server 9. Because if that's Jeeves, it's bad. Hi, Russ. Well, hope it's going well. Currently in game 1 with Steve. Oh. Not really finding many breakers. Not breakers, sorry, diversions. Yeah, I need to check. So is server 5 a global food that they were trying to sneak out? Like, I have to check that next turn. So yeah, divert. Get back. What? Bravado, bravado. Yeah. Okay, is hopefully that'll be better audio wise. It's a quick fix for now. I need to turn it down in the browser. So we'll attack server 5 with bravado. It was indeed the GFX. So I think we trashed the Lakshmi in server 1 here. uh, so the Lakshmi in 10 can still cover Vitruvius and Cyberdex. Okay, so we run server 10. Okay, they got a sandbox in hand. I think they sneak door. Back bravado and bravado. Yep, run R&D. crash the Marilyn. In server 8, I think I can. Yeah. I assume server 5 is a sandbox, which now they can't score. Ah, yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing server 5 was the sandbox if they conceded. That was, again, was very touch and go. I think if I didn't read the Jeeves, well, if I didn't read the Jeeves server as Jeeves, they would have snuck out the GFI. Cool. Anyway, headlock down, baby. So I'm pretty. Is this hand keepable? I so want to keep it, but yeah. So I think this will probably be the APOC lat list. Not lat, sorry. Tau. Which Dave. Yep, it does look like it. Dave, guess famously now, won last week with it. So quick one of these scored. Hagen. Strength 5, so that'd be 2. Yeah. Cool. I probably got a little greedy by not using Skunkworks there. But I also am very aware that I can get Apocalypse at any point. So let's put this on R&D. So this is clearly a bit of a bluff, hoping that the forces him through there. So it's just an NGO. Problem with this is if there's a scoring agenda, it gets swapped now. Yeah, that's fine. So their credits are quite low for Aesop Singh. Okay, they found money, which is fine. I mean, this again is just all of it's a bluff. So they shouldn't have enough credits unless they have overclock to get the Equator. through Skunkworks. Fire all unbroken subs. So that should hopefully cover me from Apocalypse. To an extent. So I can score the Echo next turn, I believe. Gets one from the Costa. Double advanced, yeah. Grab the Seamless back. And probably have the Drafter moved onto the scoring remote. Oh, no ice switch. Like, this is fairly certain I'm getting apocalypsed, and I think I just have to try and tax them out slightly. Is this worth resin? Yeah. Apocalypse always feels good when it comes with points, though. Like, losing the off-world here was less than ideal. But hopefully we'll be able to, with all the spin doctors, get grounds back after the apocalypse. Oh, I didn't get air popped. That's slightly surprising. Okay. Unfortunately, R&D is pretty wide open now. And there is one more Echoer in the list. Suspecting Apocalypse, maybe I should have put the Skunkworks on, like, R&D. Anyway, they're still not airpocking. I'm guessing they're waiting until I look like I'm pushing something. Which makes sense. So currently with no paperclip and 2 Hagens on centrals, it's quite hard for them to apocalypse, if not impossible. I mean, they can do it to get Simul Chip down as well. Just currently this server's a bit, well, can just be walked through. And let's... So this Rashida is currently representing the win. So they either have to attempt Apocalypse here or check that server. And I think it's probably safer to go for the APOC on for them. Yeah, with the compile. Yeah, it's definitely APOC. My hand is all trashable as stealable, which is cool. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Hmm. Oh, jeez. I was tempted to try and sneak out one of the, well, both cyberdexes, but that feels like it would be very, very cheeky and probably wouldn't work. Yeah, let's purge. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked as they checked everything. This deck does only run 12 ice, and currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of it is in the bin, which doesn't seem great. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so I think if I can find a piece of ice, I can just get the agenda out. Possibly not that ice. So the plan next turn will be to... Okay. Unfortunately, we have to let them clear that out. I'm just a little bit too poor. 7 or 8. The not trashing skunkworks is interesting. 8 and 4. So I think, assuming we don't just lose. I think we cover R&D, not R&D. Oh, then well, either way, this is the last turn. I think that's enough with the border. My only worry is that one of the agendas are still on top. Yeah, we want to end this to stop Apocalypse. So okay, so there's a 1 in 4 here. And I think there's a 1 in 4 on R&D. Ah, yeah. Ah, the echo was quite far down. But I knew that was yeah, a hope they don't snipe that agenda from hand. Cool. Well, in a reverse of last week, Steve won the first round and my corp lost. Try and do it that way. And the Apocalypse Tau deck is really cool. I really have mixed feelings about it winning last week, as I do see it a lot on JNet at the moment. But I will just fix the volume. Cool. Well, I've lost stuff. So there's currently 20 minutes left of the round. So let's talk about the event. So as we were saying before it started, is a lot of purple in this event, probably because Arthur is quite strong with the Skunk Works Void combo, and Precision Design, the deck I'm playing, won a event last weekend, a single-sided Swiss early bird gateway event, and it is just really fast and rushy, and well, it's not that hard to play compared to things like Polana when you haven't slept very much either. Also, talking about that event last week, we have Max showing a high standing, which will probably be the Hive Mind Max deck, which took everyone by surprise, as it's really cool synergy with Hive Mind and Tranquilizer and Botulus. Apparently is very resilient against purges, which surprised me. It's a fun deck to play. I almost brought it today, but again, it's very thinky. We also have 5 of the Tau decks, which are probably the same deck that I just played against, which Dave won with last week. Then we have a brick of Crim, because Crim is fairly strong right now, if not the strongest. And then just like Alice, which I'm guessing is an APOC deck. Val, who obviously is short. We have one Adam, which is cool. I'm always happy to see Adam being represented. And a Los, which is a ID I don't see played very often, which I'm intrigued in what they're doing. Probably derezzing Ice, thinking about it. No results for round 1 have come in yet, but this field of, how much is it, 32 players, is similar to last week. Is quite the stacked field. I think someone described it as a Shark Tank, because we've got Mike, who was my opponent's good player. We got table 2 being Dave and and Patrick, a rematch of the final from last week. Got Swifty in, Lost Geek, who's won the first Eternal Championship and is on Polly's Cafe. We got Polly G, who's a very good player, very nice person. Twisty B, who's I have met and can't remember his name, I'm so sorry. Andy, who I think I played in the final of Sheffield Regionals in 2019, where he eventually beat me, but they were really close games, and when he picked up the feedback filter to read it when playing IG was quite a funny bit of meme humour at the end of a long day. And yeah, just the entire field today is just full of good players. And then there's me. Because I'm still in the Swiss, I'm not really comfortable jumping in and watching other people's games. So it's just, I'm going to just chat for 20 minutes. Cool. Cool. 5 mats is interesting. Excited to see how it fares now that people know about it. Yeah, like it's the thing when something wins a big event, everyone seems to take it to the next event. I noticed that I think in this game more than any other game I've played, which is cool, and it's a fun deck. It's a very like left field deck in how it plays or how it looks, because I wouldn't have thought that anyone would have won a deck with Hive Mind and Tranquilizer comboing together in. Yeah, no NEH is surprising, especially as Reddit were all like, "Oh, why have you reprinted NEH? This card is super broken." But it did lose a lot of its toys, like team sponsorship, and I think for an asset spam deck, CTM just feels better in that you punish them for trashing the assets more than you are punished for trashing assets anyway, because they usually have quite a high trash cost these days. But yeah, NEH is Near Earth Hub Dana, which is the 4517 NBN ID. The first time each turn you create a remote server, draw one card. Historically been a very good ID, heavily played, but then it rotated out, then we brought it back, and yeah, some people on Reddit were quite vocal about it coming back. And yeah, Russ, this is Serenity's second store championship in 2 weeks, because she wanted to use the kits before she moves house, so she doesn't have to carry the kits to the new place. I think she, like a lot of people, were hoping to hold on to them until we can run events in person, but that panned out greatly. I mean, in that front, things are looking up. Hopefully, in-person events will come back this year towards Q4. I'm hopeful, because I really do miss playing in-person Netrunner and, well, trash talking Patrick mainly. But yeah, I'm very grateful that JNet exists, because I don't think the game would have survived through the pandemic if it didn't, to be honest. And the JNet team are all volunteers and just tirelessly update this thing with features constantly. The replay feature, which got added a few months ago now, is really nice. I often record my games on it and then watch them over to see what I could have done differently, or yeah, or even just now knowing my opponent's hand in the replay, trying to see why they took that line that seemed really risky. Standard's not that scary a format. There's obviously more cards to learn and thus more of a mental load, but the card pool's a lot smaller than it was when I got back into the game in 2017. And honestly, most of Standard, the cards don't leave the binder. The amount of playable cards in it isn't, well, I'd say isn't that much. Like, I think the Max deck proved that cards people think aren't playable can be playable with Hive Mind, but yeah, you get you get there by playing it. The main thing is, yeah, learning what ice are, because when I got back, I didn't. I think the first time I saw Fairchild 3 was sort of an awakening in that game of, oh, this exists. Cool. Well, I guess I lose because I ran it last click. I'm not sure what Netrunner is. Is that where you basically play just a core set and have stuff be released periodically back into the pool? Okay. Up until CNC, so all of Genesis. Which I remember waiting about 7 weeks for my copy of Future Proof to actually arrive. Well, for it to arrive in UK stores, because FFG short printed it and used the European copies to fulfill the backlog of US orders. And that pack had Eli in, which at the time I only played HB and really needed. So apparently today's event is going to be 5 rounds and then a cut to top 4 or 8. It wasn't really clear, but that's a lot of Netrunner. That's the wrong form. So yeah, that's a lot of games. If I don't make the cut, which I'm honestly not expecting I will still be streaming the cut. Hopefully with a special guest on stream again. I have a couple of people who said they're interested who I need to ping when the cut starts if I'm not in it. Otherwise it's going to be me talking to myself during cut games, which is probably not the best cut commentary. Oh, thank you to the people who just followed me. I'm now going to attempt to say your names and completely say them wrong. Ginevera makes the one at Keno, RCG Shorty, and Lagouche. Thank you for the follows and hope you're enjoying the stream, which at the moment is me chatting. Oh, thank you for the follow, Frank Feta 420. The next round will be up in just under 15 minutes. So the people I don't want to play in this event is Rotom, because he's a very good player and very good friend of mine who I seem to play every week. And there was a time whenever we went to a tournament, we would get paired in rounds 1 or 2. Like, like literally, we'd go to nationals with 200 people, and my round 2 opponent was the person I came down on the train with. So whilst I like playing the game against him, it's just nice to play against other people. I don't particularly want to play against Have, because again, whilst he's one of my very good friends and he's been on this stream a few times, usually getting salty at Steve headlocking him, he is playing Sports Metal Combo, which my deck cannot beat. And I took the black file out of it after no one was on Sports Metal Combo last week, so pretty sure that's just an auto lose if I get paired against him on the runner side. Other than that, I think I mean, I'm obviously half joking. I will happily play against either of those two people I mentioned, and yeah. It used to happen with another friend of mine called Jordan as well. Like, every event we went to, we'd get paired round 1 without fail. I do have a Citadel in my deck. That's mainly against, well, the meat damage outfit deck that Rotage won with last week. It was tech against things like, well, NEH as well. But yeah, that's been a decent tech card. Oh, it's not so much taking like the news teams and stuff. It's just I unless I find Vashrons early, I cannot get enough points before they can combo out by like playing 2 game changes and scoring all the points from hand. Last week I had Blackfile in the deck to do that when I could see that I had enough agendas for them to combo out. I could drop the Blackfile and hope to win in the 3 turns it gave me, but like it was a dead card all last event. The one match I almost dropped it against just to buy some time, I ended up pitching it to steal an Obokata. Also, I don't think Ian's version of sports runs news team, oddly enough. He's still running Aurelia Salvatore with the Spin Doctors and other stuff. Yeah, trashing Game Changer doesn't really do anything anymore when they can just have 3 Spin Doctors and 3 Archived Memories just to get it back. In the co-op game, so I got apocalypsed and couldn't find ice. I tried to sneak out the last, like, force them through a last piece of ice into some upgrades, which didn't trash, and then tried to sneak out 4-2 behind it, which they checked. I then found a border control and do it again, but there was another one in hand, and they just ran hand 4 times and found it. It's what can happen with that deck, especially if it gets apocalypsed, unfortunately. And you, yeah, I scored the first Ikawa. The second Ikawa was on the bottom of R&D, or 2 from the bottom. Yeah, it was a Faithful Apoc turn, so a couple of turns after I scored the Ikawa, I put Rashida in the remote, presenting it as the win to where they Apoc'd, which I was pretty sure was going to happen. They compiled to get through the second barrier, and then I just couldn't find ice to remake the remote before I was flooded. Tried to sneak it out with some upgrades behind the Fairchild 3 I found, but eventually they just took the last one out of hand. It was very close, and yeah, with running hand 3 times, because I ended one of them, and with a 1 in 4, they mathematically should have hit it. Okay, 5 minutes left, and then round 2 will hopefully be paired. Have any results come in yet? Okay, seems to be a few runner splits at the top, which was sort of the antithesis to last week, where it was all corp splits in round 1, but lots of sweeps in the bottom half of the tables. Lost Geek sweeping. Appear to be on Max and outfit, so I'm guessing the Hive Mind Max and maybe the Send a Message outfit. Mark is still put in as MSG instead of MCG, which is quite funny. Oh, Chris Ferg split. Chris Ferg was the 2020 Euros winner. A very strong player. I believe he won with a deck that got known as Tablet Arsa, because he famously played that event on an iPad. rather than a computer. And if you've ever tried using JNet on a touchscreen, it's not very easy to use. Paulie losing to Andy is quite surprising. I would have expected them to split as they're both solid players. Although Paul is playing Builder of Nations, which is very interesting choice, and I'm guessing it's possibly like an experimental deck because the meta's so new. We have a built to last on Mendax here, who, if it's the one that I've seen on JNet, is mostly all barriers and tries to just rig shoot your Fractor away. Anyway, I've hopefully turned down the JNet sounds. Bad Wayland is still bad. Yeah. Hopefully turn down the JNet sounds for future rounds in my settings. For some reason, my account settings for sound had been turned all the way up when it's usually on about 5%. So, guessing a server reset cleared it. But you were right, it was oddly loud. Exactly, early meta time to try things. And I tried a lot of things early meta time, including a PD deck that ran Santan City Grid to rush out, which was alright, but Seamless Launch is so much better. I would probably have tried out a different deck for my runner other than Steve, but anything I tried on JNet during the week just didn't feel like it could pull enough of a win rate for me to not play the Steve deck. I tried a prepaid BIOS deck. That was fun, but again, it just didn't feel like it won enough and was a little touch too slow, I think, for the against the rush decks like Precision Design. I tried. I mean, I jammed a lot of games with the outfit deck that Dave won with last week, the Send a Message one, and it's really strong. But people seem to be getting more wise to what it does, and I feel that hurts it quite a lot. Thank you for the follow, Sydney Icarus. Welcome to the stream. We're currently waiting for round 2 to start. I think. Oh, round 2 may have already been paired and I just missed it. Round 2 has been paired. And I am on table 6 against Matsu's Sayak. Not sure I pronounced that right, but they are on Precision Design and Valencia, so probably similar court decks. I can't see that my table's made yet. Let's go back to not Cobra, Jinteki. Cool, so I'm running first because the person who is left in the Cobra makes the table and corpse first. Which is a rule I think I designed for some online event ages ago, which just stuck. Was it the second Eternal Championship? But yeah, it's a good rule. It makes making the tables really smooth. It means people don't argue over what side they want to play first. And by argue, it's usually what side do you want to play? I have no preference. Me neither. Yeah, I recognize the name. I know he's a good player. I just can't say the name. um, so Polana is still really strong, and I was playing Polana, so I just got bored of playing Polana, so decided to play a different deck this time. Um, Polana struggles slightly if that max deck gets a good start, though. I'm not sure why we haven't seen much Hoshiko. Again, it might just be because the meta's new and people are just playing random, more random stuff. Matu Shack. Okay. So after this round, there's a break. So after my game ends in this, I'm gonna pause the stream whilst I go eat lunch mainly, and not stare at a computer too long. Because after that will be 3 rounds, and then the cut, which I'll be either playing in or commentating. And yeah, it's quite draining to look at a screen all day. Okay, so I'm gonna assume this is the same sort of Rush PD that I'm playing. This. Oh, thank you. Um, so this is money, but not really much disruption. It's just really hard to turn down a hand with 2 sure gambles, isn't it? But then mulliganing sort of helped me decide to keep this, because, well, they have a random 5 cards that was their second choice. That logic sounded better in my head. We can go. As Serenu posted quite a funny GIF chat. Okay, so I didn't expect Ginger's City Grid, so possibly not the same kind of Rush PD deck that I was envisioning. So that's a Hagen that they've dropped. Mechanura, cool. So, actually tempted. Do I? Question is, do I care about the Ginger enough to trash it? So my thinking is, if they overextend HQ, I do have Sneak Door in here. But on the flip side, if they overextend HQ, I'm never going to get a diversion through. Speaking of sneak door, I think I do just bravado into HQ. Okay. So this will give me quite a lot of money. I still don't think it's worth trashing it. Not with the sneak in hand. And then I'm gonna hit R&D, see. Okay, this is a completely different deck to what I'm running, but it runs Advanced Assembly Lines, which is super cool card. So I'm excited to see what happens. So they've moneyed up. Draw 2 cards. It doesn't look like they've drawn any ice though. As usually, Janet's quite zealous with the triggers from Ginger Grid, unfortunately. Okay. So let's do this and run HQ. See, if they let me in, I think I'm... Okay. Don't think I'm brave enough to check server 1 and walk through a drafter at this time, so I think we just draw a card. And this is what I mean by Janet being zealous with the Ginger Grid. So they've drawn cards, and this notice, waiting for Corp to resolve Ginger Grid, has popped up. So even if they don't install Ice, I know that they've got Ice in hand. So that's fine. Like, so this is Border Control Surveyor Gatekeeper on HQ. So draw 2 cards, grab something. So there's a border control on server 1 as well. Hey Mike, how's it going? Not really sure what I want to mutual favor. And still apocalypse them, it's all good. Yeah. It's not that kind of Steve deck, but yeah. That is an unreasonable amount of HQ ice. It's a perfectly fine amount of HQ ice to say that. I have sneak door in play. It's more a rude amount of of econ they've got going on. So sneak in here and get back Dana Laundry. Yeah, do we trash skunk works? Like, yeah, I think we have to. No point trashing the ginger grid. Okay, off-world office. Lots of econ from the opponent, and they got back seamless launch, which makes sense. So it's a similar thing my deck's doing, just different. No, it doesn't run tread lightly, which would be really good in this situation, but it's usually not great. In how games tend to go out. So stealing off-world office, one for you, one for me. Yep. So they drew a Hagen because I saw it on top, which I'm guessing is going on R&D. Okay. That is Hernando, yeah. That single card in HQ is seamless. Yeah. Okay, so the top card, the unknown card, was Ice, because thank you, JNet. Which is an unfortunate thing of like this message coming up whenever the thing. So that was Hagen again. So honestly, this server is gone. Like Hagen border control surveyor and something else. They don't have that much money to raise until they score what I assume is an off-world office or a purgy thing. Yep. And they get back hedge fund. Someone should ban this filth. What filth? Oh, PD? PD's fine. Let's get back these. Hmm. Okay, gatekeeper on top. They did draw ice. Yep. See, they can't really res any of that. So the plan here is to respect the actually respect the remote. So this is gamble and seamless. So I think we bravado server 1. Seamless can't score things the turn you install them, but yeah, it does feel very cheap, especially for double advancements. Okay. Yep. Okay. What did they do? Did they draw any cards? Oh, they did. They shuffled Cyberdex in. Oh, they drew 3 cards. Wait, how? Oh, they shuffled 2 Cyberdexes in. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is the Gatekeeper, and if they res it, they go very poor. Oh, the second seamless launch is on top. So I'm feeling not sure. So I know now their hand is 2 seamless launch. That was border control. Okay. 2 seamless and a can't think what else is in their hand. Oh, and a hedge fund is in there. I assume this is Gatekeeper on R&D. I know this is F3 on Archives. This is Surveyor, Border Control, and something else that I'm not going to run into. Okay, so I think it's this. Yep, definitely is. So I think we want mutual or shut down back. Also note that I haven't actually drawn diversion all game. Okay. Let's draw one of all these shutdowns. Hey Jessica. Oh wow, was Bash wrong. Like I couldn't get into that server. I had to try and make them spend money to get in, but I didn't draw any diversions anyway. The other thing was, I guess, hit HQ, not HQ, R&D 3 times, and hope to steal 3 non-fast run agendas. That seems like it wasn't going to happen either. This is a lot of money, but not much else. I don't know what the Val's doing, but Val is always good, right? Like one bad pub, especially against this meta of look at all these defensive upgrades. So my plan is probably to get Skunkworks covered by F3. Actually, I think I could. No, because I don't have enough money to do that. And then drop one of the skunks. So I was considering trying to rush out the Cyberdecks behind Fairchild 3, which never is the never feels safe to do. But yeah, we didn't actually have money to res the Fairchild and score the thing. This feels like I can try and do that though. Because 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, yep. Guess the scared of Apocalypse, I guess. Although it doesn't look like if they were on Apocalypse that they are on Apocalypse. There's an Apocalypse in the bin. That they would Apocalypse with this stuff in play. I guess I'm scared of run amok and them taking this and then running again. Okay. I think we grab the unknown card, which is actually a vital level. So so they have the two breakers which actually break the ice I have in play. Cool. So I let them trash that because I can get it back when I score. Become Omar, which, yep, it's an expected thing. So I'm actually considering here. Put this on archives and put this on archives. Also, there seems to be a lot more Apocalypse than was last that there was last week. Out of every colour. Well, it's out of blue, but every colour. Oh, yeah, well, no one plays Apex. Also, it's such a weird card for Apex, because Apex wants to install lots of stuff. Yeah, they do. But they've just done a standard archives run. And now seem to be deciding whether to... yeah, they paid 5. Which hopefully deters them off Apocalypse. I mean, all my ice is hag. uh, which is quite funny, really. But no, they were doing a normal archives run. Yeah, they seem very poor now that. I know, right? All the Hagans have gone. Like. They shuffled back Cass, and Apox. They still seem really loud, sorry. They're on like 2%. Oh jeez. Wholesome cards out of the meta? That's not a brave VLC, it's a I need ice, I need to dig. Hostile infrastructure is not wholesome, Elwin. Well, I guess there goes the gatekeeper. Stargate, yeah. Pretty much I need to find out, not that one. Hey, ice. Is that good ice for R&D? IT department still confuses me how it's meant to work. Like, I don't like doing that level of math. I don't think I can protect this. Unfortunately. Where all the skunk works in the bin. Oh no, there's one. Well, somehow they're missing all the agendas in hand, which I guess I'm thankful for. Okay, so they can't break the Ansel, I don't think. There's not an MK Ultra in the bin. Also, I need to yell at Patrick for making such a confusing third sub on that card. Confusing. Doesn't actually stop people accessing. It runs both box and thing. Oh yeah, I put the second box in the remote. Stargate missed anything. Overclock. Oh, they now have that in bin. Yeah, it only stops the trashing for the run. I had to check that when I was playing an Apocalypse through it. So they're thinking quite a bit. So I think they do have enough to break it one time. So to fully, well, to even just break 2 is 6 plus the install. To fully break it is 9. So it's quite an annoying ice for MK Ultra. Okay. Trashing the paperclip. guess trying to protect the Stargate. Well, yeah, you get the the off-world office that's in hand. Two seamless is interesting. Because I think we then add Spin Doctor to hand. The Clippy sacrifice was because we're over memory, and I assume just going to try and Stargate. Because they're a bit... Because they couldn't really let Ansel fire, as it will... I think Jailbreak's fine. It's basically a legwork that doesn't cost inf, and yeah, it only accesses 2, but it replaces itself, which is always nice. I didn't expect it, to be honest, but I don't. Excuse me. I don't think that off-world office was long for this world being in the hand anyway. Yeah, it does say draw, which is good in Val. Definitely. So if we shuffle in Seamless and Rashida. So I think my plan currently is hopefully to find the Ikoa and put it in this small server. I could just have baited an APOC thinking about it. But also you can't... I don't think you can really... Yeah. Can't stop it forever. I mean, we did find the Ikoa. And a bunch of other agendas. Indeed, hand side 6 does take getting used to. So. Only having 4 cards left in R&D is a bit of a liability as well. Is there anything in there agenda-wise? Nope. This is hope they don't have Apocalypse. Because I'm fairly certain R&D has nothing in it. Okay. Yep, pretty much all in. This feels very reminiscent of the last game. That's fine. Take your time thinking. So last game I was in this pretty similar situation and just lost to a 1 in 4. So the skunk res timing, I can res it after they pass the last ice, which on JNet I have to do after they've broken the ice because it's not fully implemented yet. If I let the skunk fire, I can't use border afterwards. So because of the Ikawa's additional cost to steal, I'm not sure they can get in with 2 credits and a click. So it's what, 3 to install the orchestra, and then 6 to break it, and let 1 sub fire where you lose a face down card. Okay, just letting it fire. Oh. Oh no, yeah, there was another Ikawa in the deck. And apparently this deck's not good against Apocalypse. With only 12 ice, it's really hard to recover. I should have pushed something out earlier, but yeah. To be honest, I was hoping not to draw all the agendas, but to find one of the other skunkworks I shuffled in to cover R&D. Although it wouldn't do anything, would it? Because they just Omar in. Oh well, there's still 3 more rounds to go. Hopefully I won't face Apocalypse next round. Because, yay, why did I? I do think the PD deck is very strong, though. I just think it, like most Ice Light decks, folds to Apoc. Anyway, it's going to be an hour until round 3, so we will end the stream now. I will go and Chris isn't in this one. He was in last week's. But yeah, I'm gonna head out, get food, recover from those amazing corp draws I've had, and hopefully see everyone back for part 2 of the event, where I'm hoping to not get all my ice blown up constantly, because Apocalypse, it's a good card and is oddly popular in this event. Process.org? Is that where Chris posted his article? Cool. Well, I'll come back in about 45 minutes. Hope to see everyone back with me. Pretty sure I can't make the cut now, but we'll see. Either way, I'll be streaming the cut with a couple of people said they're interested in commentating with me, so I'll have to poke them at some point. Hopefully I can find somebody if they're not available. Kind of still want to drag Patrick into one of these, as he still owes me commentating on one of my games that I won a regional with that he never did. But yeah, I'm doing the thing where I don't shut up talking, so I'm going to end here. See everyone in 45 minutes. Bye.